today, from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, this is Madden NFL 21. We'll see Taysom Hill and the New Orleans Saints taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
It is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
Well, partner, normally if a guy's touchdown passes fall in half, the first thing you'd say is, he really didn't have a very good season, did he? Well, it's true. Mahomes dropped from 50 touchdown passes the year before to just 26 last year. But remember, he had a knee injury and missed a few ball games, and he still remained in the conversation as the best quarterback in the NFL.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
7 yards there on the first down screen play.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a Louisiana native is starting nearby LSU. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and the Chiefs are going to get a fresh set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, They're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 36. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run. But I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run. One that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Here's Edwards-Helaire. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. But let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Well, that's what's called being aggressive right there. But I don't know that it's reckless. I think it's much more of a message, hey, defense, I believe in you in case we don't get it. And offense, trying to let them know he believes in them as well.
I like it. Your first drive of the game in plus territory, be aggressive. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. A quick slant to Hill. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes finding Tyreek Hill. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here come the Saints now for their first drive. Leading them out, their quarterback in his 4th NFL season out of BYU, it's Taysom Hill.
Playing discussion about whether 2020 turns out to be Drew Brees' final season as a quarterback in the NFL. So in New Orleans, the race will be on to see who succeeds him in 2021. And we know that Taysom Hill is a guy that this organization absolutely loves. People call him a Swiss Army knife of a quarterback. He's only thrown 13 passes in NFL competition, but the Saints believe in his potential, and his legs get him out of trouble as well.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Kamara. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Hill. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Hill. Over the middle to Smith. 11 yards there, first down. Here's Kamara off the draw, and he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Another nice play there by Chris Jones, a Pro Bowler for the first time in 2020, a 5-year man out of Mississippi State. I would dare say plenty more Pro Bowls for him coming up.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Hill. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
They run. It's Kamara. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
That catch good for only a couple. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll run. This is Kamara. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
The ball mere inches from the white line on 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
But when the ball snapped from the 3 down near the goal line, I think in days gone by, we thought many teams would run the football. But on 3rd down in today's game, I expect them to throw it. A little counterintuitive there. They tried to run it, instead spilled for a loss.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny, we had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard.
Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire.
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
On play action, it's Mahomes. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Throwing now is Mahomes. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 43. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down. And again, it's Mahomes. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. Mahomes now to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Malcolm Brown at $3 and some change comes in to drop the hammer. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. Butker's kick here is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed, right?
Yeah, a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Alvin Kamara hit the NFL with a bang, had double-digit touchdowns in his first 2 seasons. Now, production fell off a little bit last year. Just 6 times did he find the end zone. But his ability to run it and catch it out of the backfield makes him hard to cover. Look for a bounce-back season in 2020.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. On the ground, Kamara. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Hill. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41. From the gun, Hill. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he's taken down inside the 30. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now left side on the swing pass, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Running with Kamara. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
On 2nd and 9, Hill, and brought in by the tight end Cook. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Defense simply not fooled by the draw there.
Well, they were thinking run to begin with, and what they tell their defensive linemen is play the run on your way to the quarterback. If someone shows, go get him, and that's exactly what they did.
Kamara trying again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. What a stand so far defensively. And now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it, and I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. Puts this one through. And that'll bring him back within 4. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25.
And now here comes Kansas City. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Mahomes now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mahomes going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Watkins. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Mahomes again. Flushed out right. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw, it's Mahomes.
He'll get this underneath to Bell.
3 yards the gain there, second down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Bell. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He hit his first, this one from 38. Butker's kick here is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away.
On the return, Deontay Harris.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Oh, you got to do better than that.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. We were treated to an excellent first half from the gunslinger, Patrick Mahomes. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And we will not see a run back here from Harris.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's Hill. That'll be complete to Cook. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Kamara. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
From the gun on 3rd, Hill. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory, down at the 33.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
From the 31, Hill. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Operating from the gun, Hill. That's caught. It's Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, 31 yards. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And his kick is right through. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2.
And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes, a screen to Bell. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll try and run for it with Bell.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
And a pass complete here to Sanders. That catch good for only a couple.
But the last time the Chiefs defense saw Emmanuel Sanders was Super Bowl 54 when he was with the 49ers. Remember, he was a few yards away from hauling in a long pass from Jimmy Garoppolo that really might have changed the fortunes for both of those franchises.
Throwing again on second down. Hill
will get this one underneath to Kamara.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground, this is Kamara. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And finally brought down at the 43. That good for 19 and a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43. Kamara
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll try the air now with Hill. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Now Hill looking to throw on first. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. To the ground, it's Kamara. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. On 2nd and 9, Hill. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Montgomery. And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets them up 1st and goal. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
Three red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This is 3rd and goal. This Chiefs defense, they're giving it all they got. Now they'll run. Murray. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Latavius Murray taking it in. And the Saints have taken the lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. They will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it culminates with a Latavius Murray touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25. KC's offense ready to take over. They trail 20-13 our score as they have it 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Not much there, only a yard.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They go play action. Now Mahomes steps away. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a first down. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Swearinger. And he is all the way up past the 25. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Here comes Michael Thomas and the rest of the Saints offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's Hill now after the interception. And complete right side to Cook. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end, Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On first down, Hill escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. To throw, Hill over the middle to Smith. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
First down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And the Saints are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On second and goal, here's the option. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he was unable to make the play himself on second down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on third down?
What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara taking it in. And the Saints add on to their lead. Second effort there. He was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this carries into the end zone. And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to them, and it's paying off.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the chief linemen might have moved. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now it's Mahomes again. Gets this one to Hill. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Hill off the bootleg. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a 1st down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
On 1st and 10, Hill. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Play action. It's Hill. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
I know you're thinking it, but I'll just go ahead and say it. To give you an idea of how sharp he's been in this game, just his 2nd incompletion, and we're in the 4th quarter.
He has been locked in, laser-focused all throughout this one, hasn't he?
Certainly has, and he's gotten some help from his receivers as well. They also are locked in.
Yeah, the drops have been at a bare minimum.
Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. 8 yards, 1st down as they're able to convert. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
Hill throwing once more. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Michael Thomas was the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Now a second down run for Murray. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 12 yards there and a first down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And the Saints are going to have first and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They run it again with Kamara. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Third and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. And he'll take him into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. So they get the one-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. After the sack on first down, Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards, first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he'll get this underneath to Bell. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, that's a sight that we've been used to seeing throughout his career, a catch and a first down for Le'Veon Bell. For a number of years, he was the gold standard in the NFL for running backs catching passes out of the backfield. He had 66 catches last year, which sounds like a down number because his high water mark was 85 in 2017.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
tackle going down to a knee, and that should just about wrap this one up. So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.